Hello again, folks. Thank you for sticking with us so far. Now, me and Steve are going to give our least favorite player on each NHL team. This was very hard for me because I don't like to shit on players a lot, and I definitely don't have players that I hate.
This
But
was easy.
but Steve Steve thinks otherwise. This is the easiest things. This took me an hour. It took Steve 2 minutes.
Yeah,
So
I don't need to look at the logo. I know who I'm talking about.
yeah. So I guess I'll just let the expert and the master take it from here, Steve.
The shit expert.
Do you want to do it by alphabetical order or division or
I
what do
was
you
gonna go team, just by
alphabetically? All right, then
alphabetically.
let's
That's what
do
I got
that.
done here.
Yep.
Um, to clarify, I know I made a joke at the start. I don't really like to say I don't hate anybody. I just think there's different reasons. I could have chose this player because he's a scumbag. I could have chose this player because I don't think he offers anything to this team. I could have chose this player because I think he's overpaid. There's a few different reasons. I think so. They're my least favorite team or player on that team for a reason. So start off with Anaheim, good old Ducks. I chose Nicholas Delorier.
Oh, come on.
I think he's a bit of a scumbag. I don't really
Dude,
like
he's an
him.
enforcer, man. He's not a
I
hockey player.
I don't really like him. I think he thinks he's better a hockey player than what he is, and I
He
don't think
scored a
he's that
hat
good of a
trick
hockey
last
player.
season,
Last season,
didn't he?
I don't
Season
care, man. That
before,
doesn't
maybe?
mean anything. Last season, he hasn't done anything. I don't like him.
Easy as that. Fair
I'd
enough.
send his
He's one of
ass.
my favorite players on that team. I like him. I think he stands up for
Yeah,
the.
well, we're. I don't know if we're gonna agree on all this then.
No, we're definitely not because my least favorite player on this team right now is Trevor Zegras. I love his first name, but he's the only player in the whole league that could take the Calder from Raymond or Sider. So I got to be against him right now. It's been
Yeah,
57 years since a Red Wing won this award. It's been way too long. I think the last one to win it was like Roger Cozier or something. I think
he's
that
got to
had.
stop scoring highlight reel goals because that's all the NHL cares
Oh,
about.
I
Fuck
know,
the
man. They
NHL.
only care about offensive. They're not gonna have
They don't
Sider
care about
there.
consistency. They don't care about Sauter's one of the. He's already one of the better defensemen in the NHL. It's
Dude, the
true.
best defenseman on Detroit by
He's the
like
best defenseman in Detroit. If on my pick, 100%. I know Raymond's consistent, and he's going to be a 70, 80 point scorer. I know it, if not more. But I think Sauter's better than Raymond. I think Sauter's better than Zegras. I think Sauter is
I think so
going to
too, man.
be. I think he's a Norris winner.
Yeah. So for that reason, I gotta be against Trevor Zegras here. I'll like him again next year, but for right now, not my favorite. Sick first name, sick first name. But that's besides the point. Steve, who do you have coming out of the desert?
There isn't much that comes out of the desert.
Right.
But I chose Antoine Russo because I
Okay.
forgot he was even a hockey player. I mean, he's absolute dirt.
Isn't he from
Um,
France?
I don't know wherever he's from. He should go back there because he doesn't belong playing with the fucking. Actually, I don't even know if it's a compliment that he plays with the Coyotes. I mean, they're
Yeah,
gonna
he's
move
probably
to.
looking at himself right now like, hey, not bad, third line. But that's like with the Coyotes.
I don't know. Not to be a dick to Anton Russo. I don't think he offers much to any NHL club. Man, that's mean. Um,
I think he does. I'm against you again, Steven. Jesus. I think he adds grit, man. You need grit these days. He was great in Vancouver.
he's not even good grit
Stick up.
though.
He used to stick
He's
up.
not a William Carrier. I want William Carrier on my team.
Yeah.
He's good grit.
Good grit.
Um,
Caden Colesar is good grit. Reeves is excellent grit. You gotta have
yeah,
grit.
he might get you a face off every now and then, but that's about all he's worth.
Who? Roussel?
Yeah,
Roussel's a winger. He's not winning
yeah,
shit. He's
yeah.
probably the worst face-off
Well,
person.
that makes him even worse.
Yeah. I guess he's got no assets. He's got no personal assets. Fuck him.
He won't be on my team.
We kind of agreed on one thing because I said I don't like an Anton from Arizona, but that was Anton Strahman. He's just a defenseman that I always seen was overrated. He had some good days in Tampa, but who wouldn't have good days in Tampa with that team? I don't see him as that effective of a player. I don't know why. Like, I don't know. For whatever reason, I just don't have an opinion about this guy. He's just like there for me. Like he's not like overly defensive. He's not overly offensive. He's just kind of Anton Strawman. So yeah, that's my pick for Arizona.
Good pick.
Thank you. Who's your Boston?
Um, Starting to like this player a little bit more. Still don't really like him. Brad Marchand. I don't like him. He's a rat. He's a good hockey player. Yeah, but I still don't like him.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think he wants to have the attention all the time. He's like an attention whore. Is he not?
he's a whore. I can see that. He's very
Yeah.
whorish.
Yeah, so I
Not,
don't know. I wouldn't want him on my team. I like guys that are humble and just stay quiet. This guy seems like he likes to be the center of attention. Even if he's not in the game, he'll be like tweet about it. Like shut up, man. Nobody gives a fuck. But anyways, some people give a fuck, not me. But
yeah,
anyways, that's my pick for Boston. I still think he's a rat.
nice. I have the rat too, Brad Marchand. I have
How did I know we were gonna agree on this?
Yeah, I know. Some of these players, I don't know. You can almost really agree on. I don't like. I got a love-hate relationship with Brad. He's a good
Same
old
here, man.
Canadian boy. He's had to fight for every inch he's got because he's not the biggest player. He's been through some adversity. As all players have. But I mean, just a player who wasn't supposed to make it, and just through hard work and skill and love for the game, has been able to persevere. But he's the dirtiest fucking player I've ever seen. I mean, just clipping players' knees, hitting people in the dick with his stick, slew foot, and you name it, he's done it. He's injured a lot of players just with
You
some
name
dirty.
it, he's done it.
Yes,
That's a
man.
good
He
goal.
doesn't care, man. This is Vietnam for him. He doesn't care. Everything goes. Like he's injured a lot of people with dirty plays that just weren't necessary. He's just gone out of his way just to be a dirty player. So as much as I love this player, he's a great player. He's an underdog, but I don't know. I would say he's a Hall of Famer for me anyway. But just a dirty player. I mean, not a tough player, just a dirty player, man. So that's my pick. So
Good pick.
you had a
We
good pick,
agree.
too. I
We
like your
agree.
pick, too.
Yeah.
Who's your guy from Buffalo?
You talk about how the games
I
evolve.
thought you were gonna
talked
say
about-
me. I was like, you fucking asshole. I wouldn't want to play for Buffalo.
No, me either. Fuck no. You talk about how the games evolved. You talk about scoring. You talk about highlight reel goals. This is a new school. You talk about all this great passing plays. You got Caulfield, Matthews, Mccarron. You got all these good young players coming up. Talent, skill, everything. When I think of new school hockey, just a new breed of hockey players, the last goddamn person that comes to mind in this entire league, probably in North America, in Europe, in Germany, in Russia, in Switzerland, in Kazakhstan, in Estonia, in Czechia, anywhere. The last person I think of when I think of a good hockey player is probably Robert fucking Hagg, the Buffalo Sabres. Useless.
Oh man,
Look up the word useless in the dictionary, and there's Robert Hagg's there.
Noun, Robert Hagg.
Wow.
Wasn't he in Philadelphia?
Well, I mean, does that say much?
I guess not. I don't know where you were going with that. You could have picked any player on Buffalo, and I would have gone with it, man. Robert Hagg, yeah. I guess he's not a game breaker by any stretch.
No. Maybe if he was like playing like sledge hockey, he'd score some goals.
Yeah, maybe
Because he got the upper hand there, I guess.
International tournament.
Yeah.
Fair
Other
enough.
than that, he's not a guy I'm gonna sign.
No, I can tell. Tell us how you
Anyways.
really feel.
Who's your guy in Buffalo?
My guy in Buffalo, as we went over a bit on the news, is Aaron Dell. He injured Drake Batherson. He's just always been known as a hothead. He just can't keep his composure. Just in game-to-game situations or shift-to-shift situations, I don't know. He's a goaltender, and he's not a good one at that. But like at least like Bennington, he's a flamer. But he's a good goaltender. Like Aaron Dell's not even that. So he has no right to be coming out of his crease, interfering with players, and injuring the best players on superstars on their teams. So I don't
That's a
mind
good
Aaron
pick.
Dell, but I definitely don't like him. You know what I mean?
I thought he was going to be an okay third stringer when the Leafs had him, but
Dude, he
New
might
Jersey
be
picked him
okay
up.
fucking fifth stringer, man. This guy's AHL goaltender. He had his chance in where was he? San Jose? He had his chance there.
He
Then
had
went
his chance.
fucking-
You fucked yourself. You fucked your own self, Aaron Dell.
Yeah.
It's not my problem.
Aaron Dell, let's talk. More like Aaron Dell.
He reminds me
down to the
of
jungle.
Scott Darling and
I could see
Carolina.
that comparison, yeah. And Scott Darling was in Chicago too,
yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
in
He
Carolina.
started in
Dude,
Chicago.
those memes, that Beatles song, "Oh Darling," and he used to just let in shit goals. Like someone fluttered in a puck from the red line, and he went to catch it and just missed. And
Man,
it just went in.
he faded out quick.
Yeah, he did. You don't even hear of his name.
No,
you
he
only
was
hear
like,
of his name in least favorite player videos.
dude, we're probably the first person to mention him in a long fucking time.
I'm afraid to go upstairs and say his name 3 times in the mirror because he might.
I'm afraid I'm afraid to leave my bedroom now. Scott Darling might be out there with a knife.
Dude, he's underneath the bed. He heard his name and he was like, "Oh my god."
We shouldn't have said it 3 times. We shouldn't have said it 3 times.
No, that was.
I knew the difference of it.
Yeah, I'm gonna walk out tomorrow to go to work and just get stabbed by Scott Darling. So what the fuck did you say about me last night?
He's probably in some Europe. He's probably in some country in Europe now, putting up an 840 save percentage.
I'm gonna go to a bar, fall in love with a girl, marry her. 20 years later, fucking Scott Darling is gonna take off a mask and be like, "It's me, motherfucker. This is why you don't fucking talk shit."
You've been sleeping with Scott Darling for years.
Yeah, every time you're calling me Darling, I almost broke my fucking character.
Dude, that's sick in the head.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry.
That's fine. That's fine.
You got a player for Calgary?
I do. This one wasn't hard to decide. I don't like Eric Gudbranson.
I think that was pretty evident last podcast.
He's an easy to skate around defenseman. He was drafted high, expected to be great. I believe by Florida he was drafted in the first round. High pick.
Yeah.
3rd overall or something.
Dude, he had like 4 green stars in NHL 14. Every player now we talk about, I'm just seeing what their potential was in NHL 14.
Yeah.
Sakes.
Didn't pan out, and I think there's a lot better options you could choose depth-wise for defensemen in the NHL. So I don't really like Gudbranson. He's got a fair share of games in this year, but that's only because Daryl Sutter's ancient, and he doesn't really know that he's bad. He kind of forgets that it's not 2014. But
he's got Alzheimer's. He's like, he goes to sleep at night, man. Like, fuck, I gotta take Gudbranson out of the lineup.
He was drafted 3rd overall.
Fucking thing.
Yeah. How do we get a 1st-round asset this easy? I don't have much to roast. I'm not gonna give him the old shit talking like I did to poor old Robert, but I just don't think I think there's better options.
I'll agree with you. He is a skate around defenseman, especially with all the high flying skaters in the league these days. Speaking of another kind of slow defenseman I had on my list, Nikita Zadora. This guy's a bit of a dickhead. This guy. A lot of players on this list, I'm kind of just like, I couldn't pick another player, but this guy I would actually pick. He seems to target smaller players, and then when he gets hit, like Tom Wilson laid him out, and he just can't take a hit. Then he's like, "Oh, where's the penalty?" But he picks on smaller players, man. This guy's just a bully.
He's probably a bully, yeah. Mm-hmm. He's definitely a bully if you went to school, if you went to school with him.
Yeah, and I mean, this guy's not the quickest player either. I mean, he's pretty slow. He's big, but he's slow. He can hit, but I don't know. He can't take one. He seems like a bit of a bully out there on the ice.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. I've seen him do some stuff too. Different games. I remember he was on Colorado. He was still a fucking bully.
Oh man, that's where most of my memories going to. He's been pretty quiet in Calgary, but man, his time in Colorado, man.
I mean, he's a quiet player because he doesn't really score.
Yeah, exactly. He's quiet on the scoreboard.
Definitely.
Yeah. Who'd you play for Carolina?
Carolina, I had a hard time. I don't really have a least favorite player in Carolina, so I really had to be really picky. And I chose him because of kind of not an unfair reason. As Antti Raanta, because he gets injured a lot.
Yeah. If I was a GM, I wouldn't want that goalie.
I'd be nervous to sign him
to win the fucking Vezina. So
you picked Varlamov, man.
I picked Varlamov and Antti Raanta. If you go back and listen to the podcast, I was like, I am torn between 2 goalies, and now both those goalies are the worst goalies in the league.
Yeah, don't listen to that podcast.
Yeah.
Do yourself a favor.
Listen to that podcast, but
skip that.
Don't listen to the part.
Yeah, we'll get the timestamps, and you can skip past what Trevor says about any predictions, really, because he said Cole Caulfield was also going to win the Calder, and I mean, I forgot Cole Caulfield was a hockey player.
Yeah.
But, well, just skip to my parts, and you'll be all right. But Kaprizov 100 points, Cam Talbot. He's an all-star game. Cam Talbot's an all-star game.
Hey,
don't forget that.
Get to Minnesota, buddy.
Yeah, Antti Ranta, I think he's a liability when it comes to health. That's my reason for picking him. But other than that, I like Carolina's group completely. I like their depth pieces, and I think they have a good team. I think they're going to make a run for the cup.
Yeah, I do too. Same. Yeah, I didn't pick this player because the I don't know unrelevantness or the if that's even a word or like he doesn't produce. But Anthony D'Angelo has been good this year, but he just seems like locker room cancer. Honestly, he
He's got
started.
33 points in 35 games, I
I
think.
know that's what I mean. He's producing and he's producing well, but he seems like a locker room cancer. I mean, where did he come from? He went from uh, D'Angelo. Jesus, I know he came from New York, but was he drafted to New York?
I don't think so. I think he was drafted in Arizona, wouldn't he? Or was that Pierre Oliver Joseph?
I don't fucking know. Somebody. Anyway, D'Angelo has been in two or three locker rooms now and hasn't, I don't know, clicked. He tried to punch his goaltender in the face after they lost in overtime. So that's probably not a good sign. And
That's not a good look.
no, definitely not. And there's been hints of racism coming out of his game from his junior days, which I also don't like. Um, I've heard that, and like I don't know, uh, like bad remarks against like people coming from Europe and stuff like that, you know. So uh, I don't really like players like that. I think we should go back to fucking semi-pro rules where Will Ferrell said everyone love everyone. I think that's a pretty good motto, but yeah,
It's a good
D'Angelo
motto.
does not follow that. He's like, my goalie played bad. I fucking punch him in the head. So
Well, to be honest with you, Trevor,
this guy's kind of a brickhead,
I
man.
don't really think we follow that. I mean, you said everybody love everybody. We literally dedicated a full 2 hours of our lives to be mean to people.
Not necessarily. It was least favorite. This is objective. He's subjectively um, a bad person, but we're only
Anthony D'Angelo
objective.
can subjectively eat my ass. She's mean.
Yeah.
Anyways, before it
Yeah.
gets too weird,
On to Chicago.
Seth Jones. If you want to think of overpaid, oh man, he's right here. I think of Seth Jones. He can get a couple points, yeah. He's okay defensively every now and then. He's kind of a liability most of the time. I don't agree. Nine is it 9 million? 9 million for
9.5.
eight.
9.5.
9.5. 9.5
It's a
for
hefty
eight
bill.
years after this season. So you can imagine how much laughing he does when he gets home from the rink. He
Pain.
just like the Joker, man. You can't control. Just laughing gas in his house constantly. 9.5 mil for next 8 years. He's dancing, man. I'd be dancing. I'd be like Evander Kane. I'd be gambling it all away.
Yeah.
I don't deserve it anyways, but anyways, that's
I
my
would
pick.
save up all my money for my first year and put it into investments. And then my second year, I'd blow every cent I had just for fun.
Yeah, I would
And I wouldn't
too.
even spend it in Chicago. I go other places to spend my money. So even the economy suffers because of me.
Just purposely play like shit. Just go out there and just let somebody dangle you.
Just
Just
hope
go
for a
past you.
buyout.
Yeah.
Set
Go
for
for the
life.
buyout. Then
That's what?
that's a set for life plan. You get the buyout. You play
Oh
like
yeah.
shit. You get the buyout. Then you got all this money, like 100, almost $100 million, really, like 80 something, 90 million, and you can just go, man. You can chill out in Jamaica. Then you can go to Europe, travel Europe, then Greece. I mean, and you're getting paid, man, every week.
Rick DiPietro was
DiPietro.
drafted first overall in 2001, and he's still getting paid for the next 4 years.
Mm.
This guy's had 3 decades of being paid in the NHL almost. So I think that's the Seth Jones way.
I envy Rick DiPietro.
Yeah, I
I
think growing
honestly
up,
do.
Seth Jones idolized Rick DiPietro, and now wants
I
to.
want to be him.
I want to be like Jordan.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I think this Blackhawks have a tough contract on their hands in the next 3 to 4 years, but we'll see. Who's your pick?
I got Jake McCabe for the same reason. I don't love the player for what he gets paid, and that's it. I don't look at Jake McCabe and say I hate you. I don't look at him and say yes, you're the first one I'm going to draft. Somewhere in the middle,
I don't know if anybody's ever done that, but
I think he gets paid $4 million to be a top 6 forward or defenseman. So I don't know. I don't know if it's worth it.
you're right there, man. He's definitely not a game breaker, but he's got leadership qualities and he's good in the room. I've heard that too, so he's probably good in the room for $2.5 million, not four and a
Yeah,
half.
that's the cap hit I'd be looking to pay for him.
2.5
He's
mil.
getting paid double that almost.
2.5 mil for 3 years. That's a good contract for Jake McCabe, I think.
Yeah, but he's getting paid $4 million for the next 4 years or something.
That's Chicago for it. Stan Bowman absolutely demolished that place before he left.
And
He left his mark on it.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. You can take the Stan Bowman out of the organization, but you can't take the organization out of Stan Bowman. Or maybe that was the other way around. I don't know. Something along those lines.
I think you're right.
Yeah. What about Colorado?
Jack Johnson, unfortunately. I don't think he's a serviceable defenseman. Much like Erica Branson, I'd feel a lot better if I didn't have him on my blue line when somebody was injured. I would, honestly, and I don't want to be mean to this guy because I don't mind Jack Johnson. He seems like a cool guy, and bad out in Pittsburgh did not work. I believe he was in New York, didn't work. I don't know. It just seems like Jack Johnson just doesn't bring it wherever he goes, and I personally think there's a lot better options defensively. I wouldn't bring him in for an option when somebody's injured. I'd look elsewhere, but you know, Joe Sakic knows what he's doing. We'll see how it works out. I personally think they should upgrade there, but we'll see.
I think he's a 6 or 7 guy, just there for leadership. I don't think he's there to actually play hockey.
Yeah, get up in the fucking rafters.
Yeah, I think this guy just fucking eats tangerines in the locker room or something. Eat clementines or something.
Coming in, like everybody got their bags, and Jack Johnson's walking in, and he accidentally drops in a bunch of tangerines, falls out. It's like, don't worry about that, Buzz.
Yeah. No, he brings his, instead of his tangerine bag, he brings his hockey gear, and Joe looks at him and he's like, "The fuck are you doing with your hockey gear?"
Or if they're going on a road trip and he's watching the equipment managers put it all together, and he's there munching down on a tangerine. You're like, "What do you put my bag there for? I'm not playing. I'm just coming."
Yes, boy. Jeez, leave that home. I don't need that extra weight on.
Yeah, don't carry that. You don't run up the bill.
Yeah.
Anyways, who's your pick?
I got Nazem Kadri here. What does Magic think about the pick? She's pissed.
She loves Nazem the Dream.
That's Scott Darling in disguise.
Don't say that, man. I'll never be able to sleep again.
Yeah, I know. You wake up and Magic's on your chest. He's like,
looking down at me.
Yeah. I think Nazem is a bit egotistic. I think he thinks a lot of himself, and I think he also is a dangerous player in playoffs. He
clearly.
I mean, what is it? 2 or 3 seasons in a row now. He's been.
Don't turn your back on Nazem the Dream in the playoffs, or you'll be dreaming because he'll knock you the fuck out head first.
I think he gets wrapped up in this whole thing of like, you got to play harder in playoffs. You got to, be tough in playoffs. But he gets carried away and just like fucking injures someone for no reason.
I feel like he's probably a bad driver. He probably like almost like if you pass him and he doesn't really like it, he'll speed up. Or if you're going in the passing lane and he's looking in his mirror and he sees you in the passing lane, he speeds the fuck up really quickly so you can't pass him because he's in the dream and nobody passes him.
Yeah. I don't know. This guy probably doesn't yield to anybody on the roads either.
He goes where he wants when he wants.
Goes where he wants. Yeah, I don't know.
Good season though. Good season.
Yeah, great season. Jesus, he's
that trade looks really bad for the Leafs.
Yeah. Hey, bye. When was this guy drafted?
2009, 9th overall, I believe.
Yeah, he's a great player. I like his game. I just don't like his recklessness in the playoffs. Really. Hopefully, he gets a good playoff or postseason now in Colorado, and then go on a bit of a run. But
yeah, well, they're contenders, so we'll see if he's definitely having a great regular season. He might help him push it over the hump, but we'll see.
Hopefully, he made hump over the push.
Yeah.
Who's your player on Columbus?
I chose Jakub Voracek for the main reason that he looks like gritty, and I feel like he just belongs in Philadelphia. Like, he doesn't deserve to be in Columbus. No offense, Jakub Voracek. I just feel like he's literally born to be a Flyer. Like, I mean, look at him. He literally looks like a Philadelphia Flyer. I mean, you got to look half homeless to look like a Philadelphia Flyer. You got to play like you're homeless, too.
He checks both those boxes, buddy.
Yeah, he looks like gritty.
Like he fucking needs the money for a junior chicken every single night, man.
Yeah, definitely. He looks like gritty, man. I don't like it. It scares me. It scares the fuck out of me. I think he should go back to Philly and just not be in Columbus because he doesn't belong there. Even though you want to think he does, he's really a flower at heart. I mean, he's literally gritty,
He was
man.
drafted to Columbus. He's home now, apparently, in his
He's not
eyes,
home.
maybe. I think he liked Philadelphia, though. It's sad to see him get traded.
Yeah, I don't say I don't like him. Like, I mean, I don't like him like that. I guess.
You don't like him?
I don't like him. Like, I don't have a crush on him.
I don't like him.
I like him, but I'm not
I
that
don't like
way.
him like that.
No, he looks like gritty, man. I'm kind of sad he's in Columbus. So that's why he's my least favorite player in Columbus because he doesn't belong there.
Hey, that's a good call. Yeah.
Yeah, who's your guy?
Yeah, my least favorite is Patrick Laine. Right now, I like a lot of these guys, man. He's a great player, but like I don't know, their off-ice antics kind of takes away. Like Patrick Laine, like I hated the way he acted in Winnipeg. He was like 20 years old, and like they didn't want to give him like first line time, so he put on this big show where he went over to Finland, started talking shit about Winnipeg and the Finnish media and stuff like that, and just like wouldn't play. And I don't know, like even the first day he was in Columbus, he was already like shaking things up, like I don't know, talking back to like trainers and stuff like that, and or assistant coaches.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. This guy's got a big ego, and the only way he's gonna get better is if he tones that down and becomes more of a team guy and kind of just melts into the Columbus Blue Jackets instead of trying to be Patrick Laine, you know?
He's definitely never going to be a captain. I
don't think he's cap material either. I think he might get an A just because he's the best player on the team or something, but I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good pick, man. I was thinking about him. He was definitely there. I was just kind of upset that Jakub Voracek's in Columbus, so I had to choose it.
Fucking looks like a billy goat too.
Yeah.
He should be on the mountains licking salt.
Not a bad gig. Not a bad gig.
No, why not? It pays well. It pays well. You get as much salt as you want.
Tyler Seguin.
Hey, yeah, good pick.
I think
that never even crossed my mind, but you know what? I'm not too fond of the kid either.
I think he's self-centered, honestly. I think he thinks he's the best thing since sliced bread.
Yeah. Dude, he's on Tinder like 3 hours a day.
Yeah, I think there's something on the go there. I think he's not a winner like that. I mean, he's on Boston. They won, yeah, but he didn't contribute. I believe he was scratched. I don't know.
He was on the ice when Patrice Bergeron scored the fourth goal, I think.
Yeah, fuck that. Let's not talk about that.
All right. Anyway, like you were saying.
I don't know. I just think he's not a leader. I don't like those type of players. I like players who are very humble. Always talk about the team.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, and I don't think he's like that. I think he likes himself more than he likes his team. And I believe that, man. I've seen enough of his interviews. I've seen enough of him. He'd rather talk about himself than he would his team, and I think that people know that.
How many hours a day do you think he looks in the mirror?
Probably a lot. I would if I was Tyler Seguin. That sounds a bit sus.
Hot girlfriend.
Yeah. Anyways, that's my pick.
Yeah, you're not gonna like this. I picked Ryan Suter. He's always been a bit overrated to me. Like it's probably just like I don't know the NHL games. Like he was always like 87 overall, which I never understood. He's really slow, but I don't know. He's a good shot blocker. I'll give him that. Like nobody can, I don't know, play like a defensive role at Suter's level. I don't think, but like just the like offensive ability was always overrated. Like his points weren't outstanding to me, and he always was like looked at as like a number 2 to Shea Weber almost, even back in Nashville. And I don't think he's very mobile either. Like, I don't know. You'll never see him skate the puck out of the zone. You'll always see him pass it off. All right, tell me why I'm wrong, Steve.
Couldn't disagree with you more. One of the best defensemen at getting the puck out of the zone.
Oh, I didn't say that.
Crisp,
I said he's not
clean
mobile.
passes.
I said he wasn't mobile.
Excellent vision in that sense. Consistent, able to kill penalties extremely well, and he's defensively sound. He's not a Kyle McCarron. He's not a he does what he does well, and I don't agree with you there. That's a bit of bias, but I mean I've seen enough of Ryan Suter back when he was in Minnesota too. I feel like I have a strong opinion on him. He was when he left last year and they bought him out, he was still one of the better defensemen in Minnesota. It was just the money. If he was on a better deal, I think he'd still be there right now.
Yeah, his better days were definitely gone. I think
They're gone.
he had his best. Well, geez, obviously, Jesus Christ, if that's still coming, then holy fuck, it must have been shit. But no, his better days were in Nashville. Like ever since he's been in Minnesota, I think that kind of ruined his career for me. Like he was offensive when he was younger in Nashville when he was playing with Ryan Suter and the boys, back in like I don't know 2007 and shit. But I don't know. Ever since he went to Minnesota, I feel like he hasn't been over like 50 points in a long time. I don't know.
I don't know what you're
I'm saying he's a good
man.
defensive defenseman, but he was always over.
He's your least favorite player in Dallas. He's your least favorite player in Dallas.
I think so, just because I couldn't really find anyone else. I wasn't really thinking about Tyler Seguin, to be honest with you, though. I probably would have picked that one too, because he is a bit. He has a really big ego. But, Ryan Suter's quiet. Have you ever heard Ryan Suter talk?
He doesn't need to talk. He lets the puck do the talking for him.
Yeah, I did. I don't think I've ever heard this guy talk.
He might talk like Elmo. You don't know.
Dude, I feel like he has a really deep voice for some reason.
I follow him on Instagram. I've heard him talk.
Really? I feel like he's got a huge hammer, too. Dude, the guy's massive. He's got to. But
maybe anyway, that's a discussion for
a PG show again.
It's a discussion for a different podcast.
Biggest hammers on every NHL team next week.
No way. That's awful sus. People would be asking questions if we were doing that stuff. Or
best looking, top of the gay ranks on Apple and Spotify.
Best looking NHL players on every team. I tell you one thing, Alex Radulov would not make the cut.
Dude, Alex Radulov wouldn't make that cut if every NHLer died except for him.
He'd have to be the last remaining human on this planet.
Yeah. To even crack the top 10. He'd still be 10 after a couple rocks, you know?
Yeah, a couple molecules and whatnot. And anyways, enough Radulov.
Who's your least favorite on Detroit?
Easy pick for me, Philip Zadina. I think he's a bust.
All right.
I think he's a bust. I don't think he's going to pan out. I watched him play against Toronto. All he did was turn over the puck. I think he's out of his element. I think he's trying to be someone he's not. I think he's not playing. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but I feel like he's just. I don't know if he's trying too hard or if he's not trying enough. I don't know what it is, but he's not playing well. Whatever he's doing wrong. So
yeah,
there's something there.
I'll agree with you there. He's big trade bait. A lot of people say he's going to find himself out of Detroit.
Yeah, that was probably the worst move that Detroit's done in a while because they seem to be making good decisions. But
I think he can still pan out between the two parties. I think Zadina is still a good player, but I don't think he wants to commit to like a third line role even for now. I think he just wants to be that offensive player that he was back in Czech. He's
not going to work in a bottom six, and
no.
So he's either top six or he's gone in a couple of years, I think.
Yeah, he was number 2 on my list. Right above him, I think, is Michael Rasmussen, though, for me. Seems a little lazy on the ice. I don't know if that's just because he's big. Most of my dislike probably comes from the high expectations. He was drafted 9th overall in 2017. And I think this guy was rushed because he was NHL ready, but he was thrown into like a second line role. And I don't know, just rushed. And I don't think this guy can work on really a bottom six either. He's kind of like Zadina. He's trying to change his game though and play like more of a, I don't know, net front presence guy instead of like a big sniper. But yeah.
I think he'll work out, honestly. I think he'll find a game similar to somebody like a Brian Boyle who just gets in front of the net and makes a couple good passes.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be all right too. Like, I don't know, Brian Boyle back in his prime, if he ever had a prime. He used to be pretty sick, man.
Yeah, I think he'll be serviceable.
LA, wasn't he? He was drafted in the same year as Dustin Brown.
Yeah, good draft.
A great draft, 03. Can't beat it.
Yep, nice pick.
Yep. Who do you have for Edmonton?
Chris Russell, abomination.
This one's been coming for a while. This is probably the reason this episode was thought of. Steve needed to get this one in.
Abomination. That's all I got to say. I'm done.
That's all you got wrote down.
Abomination.
My brother drywalled his garage, so I don't know.
I wouldn't come handy to his garage or whatever you
Near
want
his
to say.
garage, buddy.
Your brother was hammering in his garage.
My brother was not hammering; he was screwing. I think he's screwing.
He was
drywall.
screwing.
You screw drywall, don't you?
He was screwing in Chris Russell's.
Screwing in Chris Russell's garage. Believe it or not.
Well,
I know, worldwide man.
if somebody just tuned in, that could have been taken pretty well out of context.
Yeah, that's another thing, man. I hope none of these players are tuning in tonight, or we're going to be in big trouble tomorrow.
There's going to be one of us is going to get killed, most certainly. But yeah, abomination. I don't even have anything else to say.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind the player. He was quick back in his heyday. He was a fast player.
Mm.
He was probably in the top 50 of best skating defensemen back in his heyday.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Who knows? Yeah, but I don't mind Chris Russell. I don't like Evander Kane, though. I feel like his off-ice antics, the newest Edmonton Oiler, is my least favorite. His off-ice antics take away from his on-ice performance. I've always said that. Like, he just distracts himself way too often, and he can't compete because people are always talking about what he's doing off the ice. He could put up 50 goals, but at the end of the day, all everybody would be talking about was his gambling or what's going on with his personal life. So I don't know. And that goes back to what we were saying about Sagan. You know, you don't root for the players that are more about themselves than the team. You always root for the team player. You know,
you do, yeah.
I can't willfully root for this guy.
I don't root for him either, but no, I don't.
You know,
I don't like Chris Russell.
I hope he starts to turn it around now. He's starting to mature. I think he's 31 years old. So.
Maybe I'm too hard on Chris Russell. Maybe I got to do some reflection. I don't know. Anyways, abomination for now.
Meditating on him.
Yeah. Nice pick.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, thank you. Who do you have in Florida?
I think this player's actually half like skilled in a way, and I think he's a pretty decent player, but I don't like him on Florida right now. I think that's Frank Futrano. I think he needs a new team. I don't really dislike the way he plays. I just don't think. I think they get so much in Florida now. He just gets pushed too far down to be useful in the bottom six. He's not useful
like
bottom
everybody
six.
That's not. There's not one player on that team that doesn't feel that way. I mean, everybody in Florida is skilled and can put the puck in the net, but they just have so many forces.
Yeah, I think he's better off somewhere else. So that's more the reason why I chose him here. I would actually like to see him in Toronto. I think he'd be a useful piece on a third line if you need to shift some guys in and out in a couple seasons. But I don't think he's useful in Florida, so that's why I chose him. That's odd to say. I think he's a decent player regards everything else.
Yeah. And I like that about you, Steve. You're objectively picking these players where I'm just kind of shitting on their personalities.
Well, I mean, I literally just called Chris Russell a fucking abomination. Never gave an explanation, so I don't know.
True.
Yeah. Every now and then I'll have a justified response.
All right. Yeah, I got a couple players that I actually don't like. And when I don't like them, you'll know it. But this player isn't really one of them. I picked Spencer Knight. He's not having the best season right now, and he's kind of taken away from the whole team. Like, I don't know how many wins he has. He might have like 2 wins on the season for like 10 games played, which isn't great. I know he's young, but I don't know. He's just not what he was supposed to be. A lot of people were voting him for Calder. I had him in my top 5. So, yeah. And he also broke my heart at the 2020-2021 World Juniors when he beat Canada.
You're picking a lot of players from that Team USA. You picked Zegras. You picked Knight. I don't know why you might pick Caulfield yet. We'll see.
We'll see, but yeah, Knight broke my heart back in the day. I wore my
Knight broke my heart.
Mercer and Newhook were playing. They could have had gold medals.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, but yeah,
Anyway.
I like this guy. I don't like him this year, and I didn't like him in 2020.
And I won't like him in 2023. And there's not a damn chance in hell you're going to like him in 2024.
We'll see. I haven't made up my mind that far in the future yet. Who do you have for Los Angeles?
I got the ear licker, the ear biter, whatever you want to call him. Didn't he bite an ear? Brennan Lemieux?
He bit a hand.
A hand. That's bad enough.
I wouldn't want to be bit anywhere by Brennan Lemieux.
No, man, I wouldn't want to get rabies from Brendan Lemieux. So I don't know. I just think that's the most scumbag thing you can do is bite somebody. Like, slash him in the back of the legs. Don't bite him. That's gross. I don't like him because of that. I think he's. I don't even know if he's a really good hockey player. I haven't watched much Brennan Lemieux, but then again, who has? So we don't really know.
Yeah, I don't mind Brennan Lemieux. I mean, I liked him a lot more in New York, and then he got traded to LA. And then after he bit Brady Tkachuk in that fight, Brady put out like, dude, I've been talking to his teammates, like everybody fucking hates this guy. And then that kind of put like the whole LA room in a bad position because they couldn't, if they did hate the guy, they can be like, oh yeah, we fucking hate this guy because then like he's on your team. But
Yeah, props to Brady. Good
yeah,
guy.
but Quick came out and was like, nah, we like him. He's all right. Basically.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't mind this guy. I think you need that. Same as Delorier. Same
I
as
don't think you need
Russo.
people
I
who
think,
bite people, but I'm gonna disagree with you there.
all right. I got I got another player who went from New York Rangers to LA. I got Leah Sanderson, fucking
Ah,
medal thrower. You remember that?
yeah, he's a dick.
He lost gold medal and he was getting a silver medal and just yeeted it up into the fucking
Yeah,
stands.
he's a
World Junior
dick.
Championship,
Yeah,
man.
that's a good pick.
Yeah, dude, this guy's that's not a hockey player move. I mean, too bad because I mean he's a good player and this literally fucking like held against him until he retires. But man, I don't know. You don't do that, man. That's just such bad sportsmanship.
He also tripped over the one of the mic wires when New York Rangers were announcing their players at the start of the year. Did you see
Oh
that clip?
yeah, I forgot about that.
I guess karma comes back.
Yeah, dude, that silver medal manifests itself into a microphone wire and tripped him and said, "Fuck you."
Manifested himself itself into a terrible career, which he's now accomplishing.
Yeah, too bad. Wasn't this guy 17th overall in
Fifth
2000?
overall.
Lee Sanderson wasn't fifth overall.
He
I don't give
was
a fuck what.
100%.
Dude, I guarantee he
100%. Arizona traded to pick to New York
I can
for
guarantee
Derek
this guy was
Stepan.
17th overall.
Fifth overall. What do you want to bet?
I'll bet a
Bet
case of
something.
beer.
A case of beer?
I'll bet a case of beer.
Oh, 100%. This case of beer is mine. I know it. I memorized that draft.
Yeah, what draft was it then?
Oh, fuck. I don't know. It was 2017?
Aha, we're both wrong, but I'm more wrong. But he was drafted in 2017, seventh overall to New York Rangers.
Shit.
I got the 7 right. You got the top 10 right.
Yeah, nobody's beer.
You gave me a 6-pack. I'll give you a 6-pack.
Fair deal. We'll do that next time we meet each other.
Yeah.
All right.
This might be a bit unfair, but who's your pick in Minnesota?
Much like Frank Futrano, I think Nick Bukestad is kind of useless in his current state.
I was gonna pick him too.
He doesn't offer much to Minnesota. I've watched a nice few Minnesota games this year. I would say upwards of 20. Or I'd say
You haven't, dude. That's
yes, I have.
impossible. That's got to
15
be
to
a
20.
world record. Nobody in the world has watched 20 Minnesota games.
I'd say somewhere between 15 to 20 I've watched.
Really?
That's honest, yes.
Good
A
shit.
lot of games I do watch. I got NHL Game Center, so I will watch. Like I know if the Leafs have a late game, there's a hide the scores option, so I'll watch it when I get up, skip commercials. It only takes me like an hour and a half.
Not
Like
bad.
does not take me long at all to watch a hockey game. So I've done that with several Minnesota games. I would say 5 or 6 this year. I've watched quickly, like that after the day after.
Yeah.
And when he's been playing, Nick Bukestad's not in every night, but when he's been playing, he hasn't done anything noticeable. So that's my pick. I think he's out next year, but we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah, good pick. I was gonna pick that player too, but I don't know. I kind of like Nick Bukestad. I thought he was always, he was pretty shifty for how big he was. I think he's like 6'3" or 6'4".
He's a big player, yeah.
He can
but
get around the ice, man. So the fact that I didn't know who else to pick, I figured I'd start some shit and pick Cam Talbot. I kind of wish Kakinen was ready, so this guy would be out of the league already. I don't know how his team's carrying him or something. Like I honestly don't understand how Cam Talbot is doing this good after being
You see him rid my
literally
faces?
literally everywhere in the league. He's been in. I think he was in Buffalo. He's been in Edmonton. He's been fucking in New York. He's been in Philly. There hasn't been a team this guy hasn't worked out on. I don't know how it's working on Minnesota.
Hold on. 1 second. 18 8.
I know, man.
A
I don't know
913
how.
save.
I don't know how.
You don't know how? I know how. He's fucking
How?
amazing. He's in the All-Star game. Last game he had a 30 save shutout against Chicago. Your
Against
argument's
Chicago.
invalid. And the
Chicago.
next game, I'll say his last few games. Last 3 games, February 2nd, he had a win, 1,000 save percentage, or 100% save percentage. January 28th against New York, 926. January 24th against Montreal, 933. This guy's like a brick fucking wall. He makes Lundqvist's jersey retirement look like a joke.
Yeah, I don't know how. He literally hasn't worked out on a single team he's been on in the past.
His last two is the year before Minnesota, he was 33-19. Now he's 18-8.
Yeah, maybe because like Minnesota's a really good defensive team. I don't know.
No, man, he's just a really good fucking player. I think you're completely wrong. He's an all-star. You should have said, instead of saying I pick Cam Talbot, you should have said the all-star Cam Talbot.
Cam Talbot's an all-star
Jump up there.
because there's literally no other goalie from the what even fucking division is he in? The
Central
Division to go. What other goalie were you gonna pick? It was either Cam Talbot or goddamn I don't know.
You don't even know who's in the Central Division.
I don't even know any goalies that should. I don't know how Cam Talbot has.
You got Hellebuck. You got
Hellebuck. Shit.
You got Bennington. You got Saros. You got Kemper. You got Fleury, and you got who's in Arizona? Coroner. Doesn't matter. Vejmelka.
Vejmelka. Yeah.
No, fuck. I think your pick's invalid, so I think we should move on.
All right, buddy. Who do you got in Montreal?
Josh Anderson. I think he's a bit of a scumbag. Not a fan.
I was gonna pick this guy, but I am a little bit of a fan, so I didn't pick him.
I don't know. I don't know. I think he thinks he's better than what he is. He's useful sometimes, but over the long run of a season, I think people have overestimated his abilities to score goals and be consistent. He's not really a point producer. Damn lot.
Almost $6 million, I think. 5.75 for the next 4 years, I think.
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like the deal. I don't like his offensive production, and I think he's paid too much to be a bottom 6 forward who hits. So I don't like where he is there.
Yeah. Dude, you just messed up. Your cat just jumped at 20 feet.
I never seen anything.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like what he's getting paid either. In Columbus, he was never a superstar, so I don't know why he's getting paid like it in Montreal. It don't make sense to me either.
No. Anyways, he is. So what can you do?
Who's
your pick?
My pick was Tyler Toffoli. He's just too inconsistent for me. And you never know what you're going to get into a season. Like, he had a really good season last year. I think he got like 30 goals-ish or something. Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And then this year, I mean, just total dog shit.
Yeah.
Just hasn't been able to produce. Like, he's just so back and forth. Like, he's literally the Philadelphia of players. Like, you literally don't know what you're going to get.
Mr. Philadelphia.
Yeah. So
I agree with you there. He is inconsistent. He's a really good player when he wants to be. Not necessarily when he wants to be, but when he is a really good player, he's really good. But when he's bad, he's kind of useless.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, that's my pick.
Nice pick.
Move on to Nashville, buddy. Thank you.
I got Michael Mccarron here, first round pick of Montreal back in the heyday.
That guy's still fucking playing?
Yeah, he's playing with Nashville on the fourth line. He's absolute dog shit. Don't get me wrong. I had a hard time picking somebody in Nashville. I think Nashville, I like their players. I even though I don't like Ryan Johansson and Matt Duchene's contracts, this year they're kind of living up to that as a whole, as a group. They're playing better, so their contracts don't stand out. So I didn't feel like putting them there as overpaid because of the year Nashville's having in general.
Yeah.
So I chose Michael Mccarron. I don't know. That's pretty much all I had to say. How about yourself?
Yeah, I disagree with you there. I think Ryan Johansson is overpaid. I left Matt Duchene off this list because Matt Duchene's almost point per game, if not point per game. Like, Matt Duchene's having an unbelievable season, but Ryan Johansson is still struggling. I mean, he hasn't had a good season since like 2014, and he's paid better than 95% of the league. So, like, I don't know who gave him that contract, but that's a shit contract. And
David Paul gave it to him.
yeah, dude. I think last year in 56 games, I think he had like 14 points. So
That's tough.
Not who you want to be paying $8 million to.
No,
And
definitely
this year
not.
hasn't been too much better.
No, but I was just thinking about team success. That's why I found it hard.
Yeah, he might be contributing to that, but Jesus, man, that salary is brutal. And I think he's getting paid until like 2025 too. So they got another like 3 or 4 years of the shit.
Oh yeah. Well, poor David Poyle.
Yeah, that's right. Who do you got on the New Jersey?
I got Jimmy Vesey. I think he's half useless. I mean, New Jersey's trying to roll him in the top 9, top 6 consistently. It doesn't work out. You need a better player there. I think they need to upgrade their forward core. I think they need a player. They have a lot of speedy, young, shorter guys. I think they need a guy like a JT Miller type player there.
I've heard the Connor Garland to New Jersey.
Yeah, and he's a speedy young guy. Not young, but speedy smaller guy. I'd like to see a tough guy, a tougher style player who can play in a bottom 6 or a top 6 role. Maybe even a guy who's not necessarily tough, but just a different build of a player. Maybe a guy like a Riley Smith from Vegas, a different feel. Maybe a more defensively capable, a different. Because they have a lot of the same players. I mean, Jesper Bratt, Michael McLeod, Sharon Govich. I mean, Hughes. A lot of these guys some are better than the others, but I mean, they all resemble the same game style.
Yeah.
So I'd like to see a little bit of a mix there, a different veteran, tough guy. Not tough. He's not a tough guy, but he understands how to play the game the right way. He's not necessarily just all skill.
That's
my answer. So
yeah,
not much about Jimmy Vesey there. I just think he's shit, but yeah.
I picked Dougie Hamilton here. He just honestly, he just seems like a bad guy to have in the room. He doesn't seem very coachable either. Like he's been like through like 3. He's kind of like a Tony DeAngelo, except less racist and less of an asshole. He's been through 3 locker rooms now. He was drafted in Boston, went to Calgary, then Carolina. Now he's in New Jersey, and he's injured now, so we haven't really had a good look at him. I don't know. It's just kind of like, I don't know. It's like an ego thing for me. I don't think he's that good of a player to be. He is a good player. He's probably, I would say, a top 10 offensive defenseman in the league. But I don't know. He just seems like he's not a good guy or something. I don't know. His teammates could feel different about him, but just from the outside looking in, he gives me that vibe.
Got a greasy look to him.
No, he does. He's kind of greasy.
It looks like he smoked a few draws in his day.
Yeah, man. He looks like that guy from Home Alone without the afro.
Yep.
He looks like a young fucking whatever that guy's name is.
Yeah, he smoked some draws. 100%.
Yeah. Who do you got on the Islanders?
A player that I actually don't mind. I don't think he's a good fit for this team. I think they thought they were getting more, and when he got there, he didn't really provide it. As John Gabriel Pedro. He's not having a great year. He didn't really have a great year last year offensively. He's not providing a spark to this group like I think they thought he would have when they signed him.
Yeah.
And they got him from Ottawa. I think he's excuse me, I had to burp. I think he's gonna find himself out of there in the next 2 years, honestly, a year or two, because if somebody's willing to take that contract, I can see him moving, because it just hasn't really worked out in the long run, I don't believe.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. Yeah, coming in from Ottawa, I mean, he was coming off a good season, and he's a really good face-off player, I think, and a really good defensive player, but they did think they were probably getting more when they traded for him, or when they signed him. I can't remember if he was in a trade.
He was in a trade, but then they signed him.
Not bad. Yeah.
Nice.
I got Keeper Bellows in this spot.
Okay.
He's slow like his dad, but he's not tough like his dad. I don't think he's earned a NHL spot yet. Not saying that he can in the future, but right now, like, I don't know, he doesn't seem like he's fitting in there now. I think he needs another season down in the AHL. I think in like, I don't know how many games he's played, maybe in 20 or something. I think he only has like 8 points or something. Doesn't seem like a great fit there, but I don't know. The Islanders also aren't very good this year, so
I don't think he'll last.
No, I like the draft pick when they drafted him. I was like, all right, look at his dad was an all right player. Um, but I don't know. Kiefer seems a bit slow to me. He doesn't seem like his age already.
Yeah,
Right
that's a
now.
good look.
Yep. Who you got for the Rangers?
Probably one of the more useless players in the league, Greg Mckegg.
Oh, I like his name, man. Don't say that.
He thinks he's McDavid, but he's not. Maybe if McDavid had a um, evil twin who was not good at hockey, maybe he'd be Greg Mckegg. That's a half difficult name to say.
I like it. I like that name, Greg Mcegg. It rolls
Yeah,
off the tongue well. But I
definitely
guess he's
drinks
not very
craft beer.
relevant. I mean, there's not very many games where I'm like, dude, that was a sick play by McKegg.
No, I don't know if really anybody's done that. He definitely drinks a lot of craft beer. I can tell.
Yeah, you might be onto something there. Seems like
Yeah.
you might.
But other than that, I wouldn't want him on my team because I don't think he'd provide much.
Mm.
But yeah, I just think I think you can get a better depth piece. That's honestly all. I mean, nothing against you personally, Greg. I mean, if you're listening, I'm sorry for being mean, but I don't know if you get a spark for my team. Is what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
that's my hypothesis. I'm Greg Mckegg.
Mhm. I
I bet
picked
you're.
Julien Gauthier for the same reason.
Mhm.
He's a little bit hard to watch at some point. Like, he comes from a long line of bodybuilders. I think like three generations of bodybuilders. So he's like fucking ripped and good on him. But he's kind of a slow player, man. I don't really enjoy watching like slower players. I don't find them fun to watch. And I mean, I don't know. Like you said about Greg, I mean, I think you could find a better player in your bottom six. But
Yeah, That's good. Some good analysis.
yeah, but I don't know. He could not even still be with the team now. I know he was at the time of this recording, but I don't know. I find his time limited. This might be his last season. I mean, he was in Toronto, was it not?
No, that's Frederick Gauthier.
Frederick, Jesus, yeah. I don't
Yeah, I
know,
don't
man.
know. I don't
Yeah, I
know.
don't know. I find this player a little bit hard to watch. So
Um, I think he's gonna get one more shot on an NHL team after this.
good, yeah. It's getting down to it though for sure.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely. He's got to show that he can make an impact in a game
yeah, I
consistently like
mean,
this.
yeah, he's a big build. Like he should just use his body to get around, but instead he tries to rely on his speed. And
Be a Lucic.
yeah, be a Lucic would be. I don't know. You can't tell people to fight though. That's kind of like older hockey.
Go out there and fight, or you're scratched.
Yeah, tap him on the shoulders like either you fight right now, you're fucking out of the league, but he'll bury you.
Yeah, ECHL or you fight. Your
Yeah.
choice.
Um. Yeah. Who's your guy in Ottawa?
I got Eric Brandstrom.
Eric Brand.
I
I
don't
was
think
gonna pick
he's.
this player too.
I don't think he's what he was hyped up to be in the Mark Stone trade. I think Vegas walks away with that most definitely.
Oh yeah, they got the new captain, and Ottawa is left with a struggling young defenseman.
Yeah, he's an offensive minded defenseman. He turns over the puck a lot. He has a good. He can run a power play well in the AHL, but he can't run it in the NHL the same. And I think he's not. I don't know if he's built to be a successful NHL defenseman. I don't know if he plays the right way, and I don't know if he's one of those players. I don't know how he is when when it comes to him being coachable. But I don't know. I don't know if he's just going to develop in the right way. So we'll see. I don't have my money on him,
I think he's got
unfortunately.
time. He's not going to be what he was made out to be. He's not going to be like an elite offensive defenseman like fucking your Quinn Hughes, Kale McCarrs, and Adam Foxes. But you're gonna I don't know have a top four, especially with the defenseman that Ottawa's been bringing in lately through the draft. I mean he's gonna be in a top four role. So I don't think that's gonna hurt them too much. But definitely you want to get better return if you're sending out a player like Mark Stone.
Yeah,
Yeah, good pick.
nice. Who's your pick?
I got Matt Murray, but it's hard for me to say that because I love Matt Murray. Like I want to see this guy do good, but I don't hate him. I hate the position he was in because he kind of like took the spotlight away from Flower in Fleury's last years in Pittsburgh. I would have liked to see Pitt like Fleury win those cups instead of Matt Murray. So I mean I don't hate the player. I just hate the situation that he was thrown in, and I don't know. Kind of leaves a bad taste in my mouth still to this day.
I
And
don't
that's all
mind
I got
Mano
on him,
either.
man. Yeah, I like the player. I'm rooting for him to get back in the NHL because I know he's had his struggles this year. But yeah, I just honestly couldn't find another player on Ottawa.
I don't hate many players on Ottawa myself.
Yeah, no, I think they got a good team there.
Mm.
Not a good team, but good guys anyway.
Definitely not a good team, but quality of the people there probably higher quality people.
Yeah. What about the Philly cheesesteaks? Who do you not like on this?
She scared the fuck out of me. She was
Buddy,
running.
that's a fucking dog you got there. That's not a cat. A cat would not do that.
Yeah, she scared me. I just heard a bang and then somebody was running.
Holy fuck, she's some sausage.
She's mad, man.
Hey, she's pissed.
Watch this. Watch this. Sorry, podcast audio listeners.
Does that get her going? Steven's underneath the covers right now trying to rile up the cat.
Just one sec. She's going to jump and we're going to have a good clip for Instagram. This is what we need. Come on.
Cat videos on Instagram.
You're on camera. Are you really going to blow this? Or are you going to lose your opportunity? I'm giving you 5 seconds.
3, 2, 1. That's
Okay.
it. Magic is not.
Yeah, get out of here. You're never going to make it in showbiz.
She's not a movie star.
Not a chance.
Anyway, who do you got on Philadelphia, buddy?
Ristolainen. I could have chose pretty much anybody on Philadelphia, but I chose Ristolainen because I think he was high elite in an NHL game, and he didn't really deserve it. And I don't think he's ever lived up to anything like that. Honestly.
Yeah. It's it was weird because like I think it was the 2012 when Finland won the World Championships, he was hyped up to be like the best defenseman coming out of that tournament, and to look where he is now is kind of sad.
It's pretty sad. Yeah, Ristolainen, your life is sad.
Your life is sad, and your Steve's least.
And you're bad.
He's probably mad too.
Yep.
My least favorite here is Martin Jones. Such a frustrating goalie to watch, man. He'll like save all the hard shots, man, and then like just let in a squeaker, and he'll let in like 2, and then his team will lose by a goal. So just like a really hard goalie to watch, man, and it's too bad too because he had a couple
good years in San Jose.
No, he didn't. He had good seasons in LA, and then went to San Jose and kind of like, threw his career away. But yeah, he had to leave LA though. There was no point in staying and being backup for Jonathan Quick because he wouldn't have got no ice time. So, but yeah, just a like I said, it's just hard to watch him at some points.
Yeah, his career went downhill pretty quickly, I think.
Yeah.
So it's unfortunate for him, and I don't really know if he's ever going to get it back on track. He's quite old now, I think.
He's 31, 32 maybe.
Yeah. Well, for a goalie, I mean, you don't have much time.
He's a Craig Anderson. He's still going, or maybe.
Yeah, just holding on by one thread.
Yeah.
Yep. Nice pick.
Thank you. You too. Who is in Pittsburgh?
Brock Mcgann. I think when they lost Tanev, they wanted to get another gritty player in the bottom 6, but I don't think they had to pay that much. I believe Brock McGinn's got a hefty contract. I'm not sure the exact numbers, but it's nothing to brag about. I don't know what Hextall's thinking, but he's a decent enough player. He's useful sometimes. I don't know if
he was good in Carolina.
Yeah, I don't know if he's worth what he's getting there. Anyways,
what's he get? Pittsburgh around 3-4 million.
I think it's 3.5 for a long time, for like 5 years.
Damn.
I don't like it. I think you can find players in that role that are better options for cheaper, and then maybe you can upgrade elsewhere. But that's pretty much my pick. That's the reason why. I don't really necessarily hate him. I just don't love it.
There's no players on this team I really don't like. There's just I don't know, something about Evgeny Malkin for how skilled he is. I've heard some like I don't know, some nightmare stories about him like playing with a guy for like 5 years and not knowing his name. Like that's kind of a bad look to me. I don't know if he's joking or what, but I've heard stories like of like people on the bottom line and like Evgeny's seen as like a leader, and instead of like embracing those players, just doesn't give a fuck about him. It was like, hey yo, number like 17, pass puck, instead of like saying like his name and actually getting to know the guy. So
that's a bad look, definitely.
Yeah, I don't know. A lot of these are just out of like personality or whatever, and not good leadership, especially from like Evgeny Malkin, like the second longest tenured player in Pittsburgh should probably get to know the bottom six players. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, because he's not really going anywhere, so he should get to know him.
Yeah, Ava.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. I like Evgeny. I like his game. But it's just something. So, and I couldn't pick
Just
anybody else from Pittsburgh. I like everybody else.
yeah, we're just picking. We're just being dickheads, honestly.
Yeah, we're just being like picky. If you told me like how many of these players I hate, there'd be like two, maybe at tops. So
Yeah. Chris
uh
Russell.
who you got yeah, who do you got in San Jose?
Noah Gregor. I forgot this guy existed. That's how bad of a hockey player he is.
I don't even know if he plays forward or defense. I want to say forward.
He's a center. He's played probably 60, 70 games with San Jose through a couple of years now. Just another one of those cases, man. I found myself picking the depth player who's doesn't offer much to the team, and that's not because I should like to shit on depth players because they don't score a lot of goals. It's just I think I like depth players that add an element to a team. I like a guy like a Ron Reeves. I like a guy who can help the team in certain areas. And I don't believe that some of these players that I'm choosing do that. Off the top of my head, I'm trying to think of some more guys who are depth pieces who add a lot to a team. Jason Spezza in Toronto, he's a fourth line center. He plays second power play. He adds a lot of scoring. When you need a big goal, he can come out and he can help, and he produces goals. Pretty good for a guy who doesn't get all the ice time. Just a guy like that, Ron Reeves in New York, he goes out and he does his job. Different teams have depth players who play really important roles. So that's why I chose a lot of depth players on this list. I don't think Noah Gregor is very important to this team.
Yeah, I can see where you're coming from because like all those players, like every player in the NHL today, like the fourth liners have had to change the game. Like there's no doubt like they were the best players on the team, the superstars back in Pee Wee or even midgets. But they've all had to change their game. And a person like Noah Gregor, in your case, like is playing on the fourth line, should change the game to be more effective, but still wants to be the goal scorer that he probably was in like college or juniors or something.
Yeah, thinking they're going to break through.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't mind that. And there's a lot of people like that in the league that just refuse to change their game, would rather be nobodies than be an effective player, you know?
Yeah. I would change my game if I was in a situation like that.
Yeah. Yeah, man. That's I forgot to mention it, but early in the podcast, but did you see that Zach Cassian run over Sean Montembeault in Montreal?
Yes, I did see that play. His
Did you
helmet
see?
came off and everything, didn't it?
Yeah, helmet popped off. Did you see any Montreal players stand up for Montembeault?
I don't think I did.
There was not one. Everybody just skated away from Cassian. How like even at like junior level, if someone runs your goalie, you fucking get that guy. Nobody touched Cassian. Nobody
That's
even
a dick move.
I mean, imagine what the goalie must be feeling. Just like, hey guys, you know that guy just ran me, right? Like fucking shitty teammates when you get back in the locker room. And
Yeah.
just
I would have let one in on purpose. I would
yeah.
have.
Well, it's no surprise that they lost that game, but I don't know.
I'd be pissed.
Yeah, buddy, I'd say he was. Yeah,
A shitty situation for him. Yeah. Who's your pick in San Jose?
I don't hate anyone on this team, but if I was going to be a dickhead, I'd say it's Marc-Andre Vlasic, just because he has a really square head.
Looks like a Roblox character.
Yeah, he basically.
It's the best you could.
He looks like a Roblox foot. Yeah.
It's the best you could scoop up.
Yeah, that's honestly the best I can do. I don't hate anybody on this team, but I thought I'd just draw attention to Mark Vlasic's really square head.
Yeah. He's probably in the Builders Club.
Might be. He looks like a Lego character.
Yeah. You got a couple Lego sets lying around. I knows what he's up to.
Oh yeah.
Making that $6 million forever.
Oh yeah. He knows he's
a $6 million player. He's been a $6 million player since the dawn of times.
Yeah, man. He's been there forever, man. He's always been in the top four. He's a great player and a really good guy too. So it was hard for me to call out his head, but I'm gonna fucking do it. No. He's
been there for a long time. Like he's one of the most forgettable players in the league, but he's been there for so long and he's probably means so much to that team we don't even understand.
Yeah, right. I mean, he's like, if you told me who would be there longer, like Joe Thornton or Marlowe, I'd be like, oh, well, it's obvious Marlowe or Thornton just because of their heart and soul. But when you get down to the bread and butter, buddy, it's fucking Mark Vlasic.
He's gonna be up there with games played. against
I
Marlowe and
think
Thornton.
he's close to 1,000 now.
Yeah, it
He
probably
must be
is.
way over, man. He's like 32 years old.
Yeah, he's getting old.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Who's your guy in Seattle?
Seattle chose a defenseman this time, Hayden Fleury. Again, a depthish defenseman. High pick, didn't transition his game to be successful when he realized he wasn't top 4 option. I don't think he's going to get there. I think he's probably just gonna shadow like himself out of the league eventually, just because he's not finding a way to make himself useful, unfortunately. Because I think he was a high pick and he had a lot of hope that he was going to be something in Carolina. Then he went to
I think
Anaheim
he
and now
still
he's here.
can. I think he still can, man. He's not
He's
old
got,
yet. He's still
he's
young.
got a little bit of time, but his time, the clock's ticking. He's got to start making adjustments to be successful.
Yeah.
We'll see though.
Yeah, I just checked his stats. Mark Vlasic is 34 years old. Guess how many games he has played?
950.
1125.
Wow, I didn't know that.
I didn't even know he was over 1,000. Jesus. He's been there since 2008, I think.
Wow,
Yeah, he's an old dog.
he is.
Get back on track here. I also picked a defenseman. I think my least favorite is Adam Larson. He has the potential to be great, but he hasn't been able to get it done anywhere he's been. He hasn't been able to put the talent and work ethic together to really like build himself a solid career. I mean, he'll always be an NHLer just because I think he was picked like 4th overall. I don't remember the draft, but he was picked high and traded for Taylor Hall, so he's always going to be kind of thought as highly regarded or whatever. But I don't know, guy just can't get it done, can't break out.
He's always compared in that deal. It's unfortunate for him, but
Exactly.
Taylor Hall's not doing too hot now either, so it's not even as big
That's
of a
right.
blockbuster as it once was.
He's doing better than last season.
He's doing
Last
okay.
season he
Yeah,
was in Arizona, so
he's in Buffalo.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
He's been to a couple shitty teams.
he's
doing
been
good
through a
now.
lot of
He's
teams.
starting to turn it on now
Yeah.
in Boston.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you have for St. Louis? Who do you not like here?
Logan Brown, Ottawa, draft pick. Big
Interesting.
center. It's not turning out. He has a couple points this year. I don't think he's gonna be a top 6 option. I think if he fixes his game up and becomes more consistent, I think he's more of a bottom 6 option for probably the rest of his career.
Oh, definitely. There's no way this guy finds himself in top 6.
No, I don't think so. I just I found a hard time to choose a guy I didn't like on St. Louis. I don't know. Probably looking back, it's probably Nico Mikkola. I think he's a bit of a cunt, actually.
Yeah, he was being a dickhead to Crosby, dude, probably like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, so maybe I would have chose him, but yeah, Logan Brown, you can take the piss this week.
Take the piss.
That's my pick.
player is Jordan Bennington. I didn't have to think hard at all about this one.
Okay.
He's the same as an Aaron Dell. He's just a hothead flamer. Like he gets involved in places where he has no reason to. Like he'll have a shit game, get pulled, and then just like chirp the entire opposing bench and try to fight the other goalie. Like I don't know. There's sometimes where like you just got to grow up and be a little bit mature than that. You're at the highest level. You're a role model. You can't be doing that kind of thing. But all the same, maybe that's what makes him great. Maybe getting involved in the games the way he does is what gives him the edge over a lot of goalies in this league.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? But for me, anyway, just from a fan's perspective, I'm not a big fan of it.
That's fair.
Yeah,
it's a good pick.
What about Tampa Bay?
I chose Cory Perry.
Hey, come on now.
I didn't like him when he was playing the Leafs. He hit Tavares, my favorite player, probably.
Do that, man. That was an accident.
I don't care. I still don't like him. I don't like it. He's a bit of a scumbag in some regards. He had a great career. Up to this point, he's won a scoring title, I think, and he's been a really good goal scorer, but he's past his prime, obviously. I just don't love him. I don't know. He wouldn't be on my team. But that said, he's been a great player. I just not a fan of him for what he's been known for.
Yeah. Well, his nickname is the Worm, so comes with that is a bit of a bit of heat kind of reputation. So I don't blame him for picking him. I think I don't know. I think he's been good in his late years. I mean, he's been a leader everywhere he's been. Dallas, Montreal, and now Tampa. So
Yeah, he's been a good player. I just don't fucking like him.
yeah, I guess that's all it. Yeah, here I picked either Ruda or Cernak.
Jan Ruda.
Yeah, Jan Ruda or Eric
Well,
Cernak.
I like those two players. I think they're useful.
Really, I just feel like they don't really get involved anywhere. I guess Ruda does, and Cernak just like I don't know. I just I honestly don't know. I just couldn't pick another player, so it came down to these two, and I didn't know which one to pick. I think they contribute equal, which is not much. So I don't know. They're definitely useful in later
Again, a
season
depth
and
piece getting their
off-season.
getting their feelings hurt. I've been talking for a long time. I said healings hurt. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Just couldn't pick another guy. I mean,
that's
if
fair,
I
man.
was a GM,
Sometimes,
I mean, there'd be so many other like 6th or 7th defensemen I pick over these two. So I don't know.
that's fair.
Cernak's still young though. He's only like
I like Cernak. I personally like Cernak. I think he's a good defenseman, but
yeah,
everybody has
Cernak's
their own
like 25, 24, so he's still young. But yeah, who do you got
nice
for
picks.
Toronto? This is gonna be another touchy subject. I can already tell.
I'd actually had no time debating this. I chose Travis Dermott.
I thought you were gonna choose Nick Ritchie.
I was gonna choose Nick Ritchie. I was looking at him, but I was like, he doesn't really play much now, and he's gonna get phased out anyways. So I chose Dermott because he's just easily replaceable. There's just so many other defensemen that could do what he does. He doesn't stand out, and I'm not saying I don't like the guy. I don't know. I just think he's not what he doesn't contribute enough to make me say, oh, I need this player in the lineup every night. So I'd put him on my list. I don't dislike him, but just found that he plays a bit of a game where he's kind of idle on the ice, and he doesn't make great passes, but he doesn't necessarily make terrible passes. He's just there to be there, kind of. So
Yeah,
that's
he's
why
a
I
very
chose him.
generic player. I mean,
Generic,
just
yeah.
a generic, just run of the mill two-way defenseman.
Doesn't bring
He doesn't.
any quality,
He's
big
not. He's not a
qualities.
great offensive producer. He doesn't. He's not a shutdown defenseman, and he doesn't get any scraps or hard plays along the boards. He's just all around the board in the middle. So
Yeah,
like why you say that.
exactly. That's my pick.
Yeah,
Anyways, who
I
you got?
picked William Nylander. I thought he had a really bad attitude when he was holding out. He's a bit cocky, or at least in the beginning of his career. I'm starting to be more of a fan now that he's at least like paying out like what he's getting paid. I feel like he's pretty good value right now in the season for what he's doing to what he's getting paid. But when he was holding out, that just left like a sour taste in my mouth. Just like I don't know. I thought he was being like overly cocky and overly I don't know. Just like I'm gonna get paid what I want, and I don't give a fuck. Even though it was like his like second year in the league.
That's
So, yeah.
that's a fair pick, man.
I didn't really appreciate that. I mean, he's coming around. I mean, now same as Martian. I mean, those two players are like
I'm
yeah,
not a
like
lover.
2 years ago, I would have been a lot more. I don't know, salty about it.
I'm not
But
a lover of Nylander myself. I think he has his moments. He's very hot and cold, I think. Um, in terms of weeks, I have a hot week, I have a cold week. And my grandfather doesn't really like him. He's got beef with him for some reason. But yeah, he's definitely a replaceable player if they had to make changes. Although I wouldn't want to see him move because he does score goals and he is skilled. Um, you know, you get to wean people out eventually.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Who's your guy for Vancouver?
I chose OEL.
Yeah, I can see that.
Just doesn't bring much. I mean, he's had a shitty year. Hopefully, he gets it together. And I've liked OEL when he was in Arizona. As a Vancouver Canuck, I'm not a fan, and that's pretty much all I get to say about OEL. Just not a fan of him in a Vancouver jersey. So
I
up to
was a
this
huge
point,
fan of him in an Arizona jersey. I loved him in Arizona, but he kind of trailed off.
yeah, definitely. That's all I really get to say. I just love him in Arizona. Don't really like him so much in Vancouver.
Yeah. I chose Tyler Myers here. I don't know. I don't know if it's just because he's really tall. I know he's really passionate about the game, but it's I don't know. He seems a bit lazy at some points for me. It might just because where he's so big, he's not mobile enough to be a really, I don't know, quick player. But I don't know. I
Yeah,
don't
I thought
like
about
really
Myers,
like
but
him.
he was having an okay season. He hasn't been a reason Vancouver's losing, so that's why I didn't pick him.
Yeah, for sure. And no, I pick him to be on my team, but just like uh,
Not that cap hit.
I don't know. Yeah, it's a combination of things like slot overlap and like just like I don't know. He plays a little lazy. He doesn't mind getting in fights though. Is the only thing. So I definitely keep him. I remember when he was a hot cookie in Buffalo. Like you thought like, oh my God, they got fucking Ristolainen and Tyler Myers coming off on the blue line, biggest blue line, and really good skaters and everything. And then they both just kind of
Yeah,
dwindled
yeah.
down to
Hopefully that doesn't happen to Darlene and Power.
Abe, I imagine. Holy fuck.
Yeah, but time will tell.
Yeah, that's
Nice
right.
pick.
Thank you. Who's your pick for Vegas?
I chose Laurent Brossoit because he's got to replace Fleury, and nobody wants that job, and I don't like how they handled that. And Laurent Brossoit's okay; he has good games and whatnot, but he's not Fleury, so that's why I don't like him.
Yeah, he was a decent backup, I guess, in his time in Winnipeg, but
Yep,
I don't know. Those are really big shoes to fill. You're right.
extremely.
Yeah. Uh, at this team, I picked Evgeny Donata. I find him kind of a little bit with an ego too. I feel like he's a decent player. I don't hate him, but I don't know. I
I
don't
looked
know.
at him.
It's kind of just like it's just kind of one of those things where it's like I don't know. I go either way on him. He's got a pretty dirty cap hit for what he's producing this year. Anyway, he hasn't been a standout player.
No, I think he's around 20 points.
No, but yeah, I guess that's all you can expect. He's playing like third line time, so that is
Hmm.
what it is. What about Washington?
I chose Evgeny Kuznetsov. I don't like the fact that he got caught doing drugs in the media.
I
I don't
do.
know.
That's my favorite thing about him, actually.
Okay.
Coke
I
Santa.
think it's a bad look for the game.
Yeah, no, it is.
So and he seems like he's a bit of a cunt. I don't know. I just looking at him. So
Do you like
I
his
don't know.
Birdman Selly?
I do. That's the only thing I like about him.
I don't mind
I
that
like
either.
that Sally.
Yeah,
It
it's
gets
all
under
right.
the skin of some people, so that's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, I just don't really like him. He's a really good player. I think he's got 45 points in 44 games. But doesn't give me a reason to like him. Doesn't give me enough of a reason, I should say.
sure. Yeah, good point.
That's pretty much my only explanation. I
Yeah,
like other players in that team.
that's a fair one too. That's
What about
you
you?
got to right to that opinion. I chose Darna Hathaway, even though I do like the player. He fits in on the fourth line, and a lot of people on that team really like him. Do you remember that incident where he spat in the face of Branson?
I don't really.
He was in a scrum and he just blatantly spit in right in the face of Branson, and
Dude, I don't remember that.
really did. It was not a good look for the league, and a lot of people were upset.
Wow. Did he get suspended?
Oh yeah, I think he got suspended like 2 games, 1 or 2 games, but I
Wow, I
don't know.
don't remember that.
You just don't treat other hockey players like that. Like I don't care how pissed off and in the game you are, like to spit on another person, and especially like in their face.
Mhm.
Ultimate sign of disrespect and just like a
That is
low class player.
disrespectful, yeah.
Yeah, just like ultimately low class. Um,
Yeah. I
I don't
never
know.
thought about that incident, so if I did, maybe I would have chosen.
Yeah, I don't know. It wasn't a good look, and I still remember it was like from. I think it was the same year that guy called Tanner Pearson's wife a fucking boat or whatever.
Yeah, that was pretty shitty.
That Washington locker room wasn't great, or was that in Vancouver?
That was in Vancouver, but he was in Washington, so he's
Yeah,
not.
yeah. I don't know.
He's
Just I'm not a good look for the league.
Washington doesn't pick a lot of quality guys in a way.
Apparently not. No, holy fuck.
No, they just pick a bunch of guys who can help them win.
Yeah, and do drugs.
Yeah, pretty much.
What about from Winnipeg?
Yeah, I chose Nathan Beaulieu, and he shit on the Leafs once publicly, and that's
Did
why.
he? What did he say?
Yeah, I don't know. He said like they think they're better than what they are, and they're only just a bunch of overpaid bums, pretty much. I feel like he said
Jesus.
that once. Not exact. Not That's not a direct quote, but he said something along those lines. So I think he's a fucking dickhead, and he's not even a good hockey player. So it doesn't matter because he's never gonna. He's just gonna be in the KHL for a year, and then he's gonna get kicked out of there. So it doesn't matter.
I don't mind him. I think I don't know. I think he has potential to be, I don't know, top four in Winnipeg just because they're a bit weak. But
Oh, fuck, man. He's not on my top four.
man, we'll see. Yeah, no, I don't know. I didn't hear those comments. I might have faintly heard them, but I can't remember now. My guy
I
in
believe it was an
Winnipeg,
off season too.
it was this off season.
It was in off season. I think it
Oh,
was like 2 years ago. I just don't remember
Jesus.
him talking shit. So
Still salty.
yeah.
Yeah. My player here is Christian Vesalainen. Just for the same reason as Rasmussen. You know, I got my expectations up too high for this guy, and he just hasn't been able to produce at the NHL level. I think a lot of it comes down to he just didn't transition well to North American ice. He just had too much, I don't know, too much room in Finland to kind of get around players, but he hasn't been able to get
It's a
around.
different game, man. It's a different game.
Yeah, he's a bit slow too, but yeah, I just thought he was going to be a lot better.
He was a pretty high pick.
Yeah, he was. I can't remember how high.
He was first round 100%.
Oh, he was ninth. He was in the top 10.
Yeah, so that sucks for Winnipeg. You don't want to miss those picks.
Exactly. Nothing against his character though. He's probably a good guy, unlike some people on this list. But yeah, just wasn't able to get it going right now. Anyway, he might pick it up in the future.
Yeah, Winnipeg's got to start picking Finnish guys top 10. I mean, Laine got shuffled out pretty quick too. So
yeah, right.
They got to start drafting some good old Canadian kids.
Perfetti.
Yeah, they made a good choice there. I think he's going to be a really good player.
Oh my God, they got a Finnish defenseman too, Ville Heinola.
Yeah.
Geez, he might be fucking shipped out too.
Yeah, he's a couple years. He's fucking eating dirt.
Oh yeah.
On the way back to Finland.
He makes
Not a cent to his name.
No, this was a very hateful podcast, Stephen.
I got to go like pray or something now.
Yeah, I know. I feel like I don't know. Gotta go repent.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like an asshole. I mean,
I feel like I owe some of these players an apology. Like, I honestly feel like DMing like Trevor Zegras and being like, man, I don't really hate you, man. I just want to see a Red Wing win a Calder. That's all. I think you'd understand too.
I would apologize to everybody except for Chris Russell.
Yeah. No, you've got nothing to be sorry for there, man.
No, okay. Thanks for the reinsurance. Yeah, I feel like this was a hateful podcast, so I'm sorry to anybody who's got this far. I don't know, it was just to mix it up, and we like doing little predictions. We like playing these little games, and it really boils down to a lot of time that we're either making a joke, because we don't literally hate these people. We're either making a joke.
No, a lot of mine were jokes too. Like, I don't hate Vlasic because of the shape of his head. I just wish it was
there. Yeah. So you got to be able to take a joke. So I mean, these guys are obviously making way more money than us, so they don't really give a shit what we got to say. So we're just messing around. I mean, it's either a fun joke or it's because I think the team could upgrade the depth. They're not having a good year. That's literally what it is.
I would say all these people are making more money than me and you, Steve, right now, except for Evander Kane. He's got negative money, so I think we are making more than
I think we're set there. Yeah.
But as soon as he plays 3 NHL games, I think he'll pass us again. So
yeah, probably.
We'll see.
Oh well. Maybe YouTube will blow up.
Yeah, that's right. All right.
This video will blow up.
You wanna sign us off? Tell the folks where they can find us.
Yeah, you can find us on YouTube at Hockey Tank Podcast. You can find us on Instagram at Just Hockey Tank, and make sure to go check out those social media pages. You can find us on all podcast streaming platforms, Apple Music, Spotify, and on the internet at Anchor.fm. So just go look us up there. Whatever you're listening to us on. We're trying to grow the YouTube channel. We haven't been very successful yet, but we're staying persistent. We're gonna keep uploading. At a schedule of 5 to 10 days between episodes. We're gonna keep pushing them out, and hopefully one of them breaks through. So get us a follow on Instagram as well, and just slowly hoping that we're gonna break through. So we'll see how it goes.
Yes, sir. Couldn't have said it better myself, Stephen, buddy. Thanks for taking your time to listen to us, folks. Like we said, please show us some support online. We're itching to start talking to you guys. We're
getting a few comments.
We've got a couple comments on the YouTube videos, and they're fun to reply to, and the people have been nice. So yeah, just any support is very welcome at this point. So yeah. Consider it. All right, guys. See you next week. Take care, everyone.